the best at any single function, be it engineering, accounting, or marketing. It's really about people wanting to follow them and the reasons why they want to follow them. Here's my answer. They follow them because they trust them. What makes people trust or not trust someone? The answer is simple, but not necessarily easy. We all know that simple to understand is not the same as easy to do. So they trust because they believe the leader has their best interests at heart. And in the case of leadership, what makes this so difficult is that most humans have been let down and led down the wrong path too many times to fully trust that anyone else has their best interests at heart. You see, too often the leader is not simply dealing with the rational, mature, grown-up follower of the present, but also with the follower's irrational, insecure, and fearful child of the past. Yes, it's in our childhood experiences we first felt let down and led down the wrong path of life. Sometimes we call this fearful child our ego. Think of our egos as our false self. When we come from our ego, we're not tapping into the quality person we are when we're at our best. I call that quality person our true self. And guess what? The leader is also dealing with his or her own irrational, insecure, and fearful child from their past. Thus, the complex drama begins to unfold. Speaking of drama, here's a story of a trusting leader that I witnessed myself. I said that I've met some great leaders along the paths of their moving from good to great. One of these leaders is Jim Mitchell. Between 1985 through 1995, I owned the Pecos River Conference Center, located on a 2,000-acre ranch just a few miles north of Santa Fe, New Mexico. During that time, Jim was president of the American Express Life Insurance Company. Like many other leaders, Jim brought his 8-person leadership team to the ranch to go through our Play to Win seminar for leaders. During a part of that program, I did an experiential learning process that I called the Anatomy of a Failure. The group had finished a powerful ropes course and were pumped up about how much they had learned about trusting themselves and trusting each other. It was time to put that trust to an emotional test. I asked them to remember a recent failure that, even at the smallest level, involved them all. It didn't take them long to make a choice. It was a software project that never seemed to gel and never got completed. The process required each member to take 100% accountability for this failure. The question they each had to answer was, what did I do or what did I not do that would have made even the slightest difference in preventing this failure? Of course, since leaders go first, Jim started the process and was very effective in setting the tone and going deep by reflecting on his thoughts and motives at the time of the failure. He also shared what he had learned by doing this reflection process and what he would do differently when a similar situation came his way. Jim's modeling of being authentic and open set the tone and gave everyone permission to follow his lead. They were all doing well and pretty excited about what they were now learning from their failure. The last person on the learning seat was the project director. She looked Jim straight in the eye as she confessed how sorry she was about not going to him right away when she realized the project was going south. She had been afraid to tell him because she knew how much he had counted on its success. She was about to say more when Jim, with tears in his eyes, said, "Stop. Let me apologize to each of you for anything I've ever said or done that would make you afraid to tell me the truth. I take 100% accountability. I give each of you full permission to tell me if I ever do something like that in the future." Right then, I knew what the phrase, "you could hear a pin drop," meant. For Jim and his team, this was a defining moment, a moment of truth. A few years later, Jim told me that day, that single shared significant emotional event of trust turned the team into the highest performing group in the entire company. Jim's always been a great example of a great leader. What I took from this experience was the value of being your true self, your authentic you, your fallible human self. Jay Zink, a psychologist and good friend, reminds us that people admire us for our successes, but they love us for our failures. Haven't we all learned that we learn the most from our failures? Now let me give you an example of another great leader.